18th running of the Passion for Speed Festival is proudly brought to you by SKF, Castrol, Auto and Truck Tire, G&H Transport, and Swartkops Raceway. That's the noise that everybody's come to Swartkops for to open up the season's motorsport calendar. It's the 18th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. And there are some big legends in the house. Let's catch up with one of them.
Sorrel, once again we get back together at Swartkops for this International Passion for Speed, and you've become part of this event. In fact, it looks to me like the event runs around Sorrel van der Merwe.
Well, I get my yearly fix here, you know. I miss motorsport a lot. And, so I do whatever racing I can now and again. And fortunately, people offer me a car now and again, so I can still get a bit done.
And it's always great to have him as part of this massive festival. Legendary drivers coming out as well from all around the world to enjoy the festivities here at Swartkops. Mix FM in the house as well. And look at that, we got Volvo on the skid pan doing a great activation with their new cars. Volkswagen was in the house as well, so were DAF Trucks, and all part and parcel of this massive Passion for Speed Festival. To kick things off, we go into the Auto and Truck Tires Pre-74 International Sports Prototypes. Great to have a new sponsor on board there with these Pre-74 cars, and as you can see in the pit lane, a real array of cars. Lolas, Porsches, Chevrons, we've got some Fords in there, a couple of Morgans, and look out for the big international boys as well, coming all the way from Sweden to come and do duty and battle against SA's finest. Out front though, it's Keegan Campos who's set the pace right from the word go. He's on pole, he's got Larry Wolford alongside him, and we're going on board with Kenneth Pearson in an original GT40 down into turn 1. And Rob Portman joins me in commentary as we go into the thick of it towards turn 2.
Oh, we've got South Africa's finest here. Look a little bit further down. Willie Hepburn, 54 years in motorsport. He's out there in his 1968 Camaro, so real legends of motorsport racing out on track here, and that's exactly what everyone's paid their money to come see.
I think they might have had a paint special on orange paint for Porsches at the moment. There's 7 of them out there. But right now it's the Martini Racing Carrera out front of Campos. And on his tail, Jonathan Dutoy doing big danger there. And coming through to look as if he can find a way to the top of the hill. He goes on the inside into turn 5. Has he been able to make a stick? Yes, he has. Jonathan Dutoy taking the lead and moving up to the front end of this Pre-74 International Sports Prototypes. And on their tail, Larry Wolford hunting them down.
Oh, Jonathan Dutoy runs a little bit wide. That's allowed. Campos back on the inside. So we've got a change up. That's 2 change-ups in 1 lap, and just behind them you can see Larry Wolford. He's sitting there. Dutoy gets excellent drive onto the front strand and just shoots back to the front end. But I think Larry Wolford, he's just playing at the moment. He makes that move up into second place now, and that old school 1969 Lola T70 is starting to make way.
In the mid-pack, George Vakamides, all problems there. The 58 car of Jan Kling with the door wide open, especially opening up the door and allowing cars through as well. And meanwhile, literally the door came open as well. Coming through there as well, keep an eye out on Johan de Bruin, and issues right from the word go there from Andre Besaidenote in the Veltevreden Estates RSR.
There is Willie Hepburn in his beautiful Camaro, and check out that Louis Cluty 1967 VW Beetle. I don't think that's very standard, that note under the hood.
Definitely not stock standard there, although we do give him a ragging about it. Larry Wolford hits the front at the top of the hill into Sassel, right past the AMG Driving Academy, and takes the lead now in that Genie Racing Lola T70. He's got Dutoy on his tail. Now the Lola's got the grunt down the straights, but the handling of that Chevron is unmatched, particularly at this circuit. So Dutoy is going to try and stay with him and use the handling to give him a bit of a run to the line.
Just behind them, a good couple of battles going on just outside the top 3. Neil Lobb, Keegan Ward, Peter van der Spey right up there as well. And then the first of our Swedish drivers, that's Bernd Orderson, there in 6th place at the moment in his Lola 212. So good to see the Swedish guys in the house and trying to mix it up with our top SA boys.
Sorted out the door now. Jan Kling back on track, right into the clutches of the leaders though. He'll move over and allow an opportunity there for the T70 to go through. Yeah, no problem there. Let's see. Oh, there's an issue there. Back left puncture for Campos. That's allowed Peter van der Spey to go through in the second of those RSR Porsches. That turbo car just going through there with the ailing little Carrera, unfortunately. Look at this. That is Lee Thompson now applying pressure onto the back end of Darren Goodman's. And on their tail, Andre van der Merwe in the big Porsche.
Great to see car number 16, George Avakamides, making his return to racing then, his 1974 Porsche 911. Of course, remember, George has done big things in MSA, former chairman, so great to have him out on track. Larry Wolford getting that thing all kinds of sideways. Final lap, and he's putting on a real show here for the crowd.
Yeah, a little bit of showboating there from Wolford. It's great to see. Jonathan Dutoy is going to finish up in second place in the Chevron, but there was no answer really. Wolford had the additional power, got away, and eventually takes the first victory. A great effort there from Wolford to win out over Jonathan Dutoy. Neil Lobb comes through for third in the second of the Lola T70s, followed by Keegan Ward, one of the youngest drivers there in his 1974 Chevron, beating out Peter van der Spey and Bernd Orderson. Straight into race number 2 now. A little bit of spit and polish there for the Chevron B8. I wonder if that's going to help him get through the air quicker and hopefully get him into the lead of the second heat. Wilford is the man to catch. Can anybody do anything about that car out front? The only man who can really give him a run will be Jonathan du Toit. But let's hope that Neil Lobb gets his car up to pace earlier on. Jan Kling hopefully keeping the door shut this time. You can see a little change up to the front of that grid. And remember, it's double waved yellows down into turn 1 and 2. So they only get a green flag coming out of turn 2 and heading towards 3. Everybody remains in line until they get to that point, and it's every man and lady for themselves as they go through turn 1, Compendium Insurance Corner. And there you can see Abakamides already looking to try and get ahead of Brian Algar, the man he fought with all race 1.
Larry Wolford already out front, but there's going to be a good battle for that final third position, I think, between the likes of Neil Lobb, Keegan Ward, and of course the man all the way from Sweden, Bernd Orderson, to come through here. Larry Wolford always been bettered there, so maybe just getting some heat into those tyres before he can unleash all the horsepower that's under that bonnet.
There's no tyre warmers on these cars, so they've got to take a couple of laps to get the heat up. You can see, Wynand van der Merwe up there as well in his RSR, right on Peter van der Spey's tail. So a bit of a battle there between the Expel car and the Dental Studio car. But there's another battle into turn 5, and what a move there from Jonathan du Toit. Squeezing out Neil Lobb, or has he? Neil Lobb's keeping him honest. He stays on the inside through turn 7 in the Gunston Lola, and here they go side by side down towards turn number 8, G&H Transport Corner. The Lola's got the line, and du Toit might have to give it up. No, he's not. He's going to drive around his outside. Brilliant stuff.
Speaking of brilliant stuff, Keegan Ward ahead now of Larry Wolford up into third place. So a good mix here on the opening lap here in race number 2. Brilliant stuff there from Ward. There he is trying to hunt down our 2 leaders now.
Looking for a chance to make him the first Chevron on track. Remember, he's trying to get past the Chevron B8 of Jonathan du Toit. That's not an easy thing to do. But he's already shown he's got a bit of prowess to get ahead of Wilford. And Wilford's actually under attack from both those RSR Porsches behind. Here comes De Brain on the back end of Hepburn into turn 2 as well. He dives on the inside. Hepburn running a little bit wide there in the Camaro. Nice to see this out as well. Roy Douglas in the 1980 Lancia Beta Monte Carlo. Not quite a pre-74 car, but didn't have a class on the day, so they shoved him in here with these sports cars, and he loved being in the back end fight and having a little bit of run there with Charles Beaumont and, of course, Andre van der Merwe.
Keegan Ward just losing touch now with our top 3 drivers. Here we go, Larry Wolford on board at the top of the hill. Look at the extra amount of grip that he's got on the brakes and stability, and that's where all the spectators are, and they are getting their money worth, because that is where all the passing, I think, is going to happen throughout the day. Now Larry Wolford's got out front. Can Neil Lobb and Jonathan du Toit do anything about sticking with that Lola T70?
It's Lola T70s 1 and 2, Chevrons 3 and 4, Porsches now in 5 under attack there from Bernd Orderson, who's starting to put the pressure onto Van der Spey as Wolford hits the front. Now, speaking of Bernd Orderson, his countryman in the GT40, Kenneth Pearson, caught up with us during the day to tell us all about his magnificent GT40.
Kenneth, interesting visitor from Sweden. What's the attraction of coming to South Africa all the way from Sweden for this event?
Of course, it's the nice weather, because at home we have snow at the moment, so it's so good to be here. So that's the main reason, and of course the racing is fantastic down here.
A little bit about the car that you've brought along this time.
Yeah, it's a Ford GT40 from 1965, and it's a genuine specification, and it has around 400 horsepower.
Well, Wolford's got a lot of horsepower underneath him, and he's used it to perfection. It's going to be a double victory here today for him in the Auto and Truck Tires Pre-74 International Sports Prototypes here at the 18th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. An easy run to the line, eventually beating out Jonathan du Toit. Neil Lobb comes through for third place in the second of those T70s, and it's Bernd Orderson, Keegan Ward, and Peter van der Spey in the Porsche making up the top 6. Untouched on the day, Larry Wolford in the Lola T70 doing a great job there for the Genie Racing team. Let's catch up and find out how it went.
The car's sorted. It's absolutely stunning to drive. I can honestly say that you just get in it, race it, and it just delivers all the time.
For more action from Passion for Speed, join us after the break.